Hi, my name is Joel. I left my 33-foot sailboat, Jacques Mate, in Grenada. I'm currently on a mission to save money for upcoming projects and to learn all I can about sailing.
Man, we are flying right now.
And boat life from Thomas and Linda.
Am I there yet? We don't like those kind of angles.
And their custom-built 76-foot steel sailboat, Saganka.
I'm getting a celestial navigation tutorial.
Cruising along at over 8 knots right now. Thomas has a lot of faith in me, huh? This is sailing.
As a matter of fact, we're bones on our boat. We're bones on our boat.
Okay, there's the sun. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk it down and keep an eye on it, keep an eye on it, keep an eye on it. I've actually got the sun in my right hand side. I'm going to move the sun down to the horizon.
I'm getting a celestial navigation tutorial from Thomas himself. He says they've really overcomplicated this process. To give a navigator value, you know, they don't want to make it sound easy, so they kind of overcomplicate it. They don't really want to tell people exactly how to do it. That's more of the old school thing, I think, so that they have value, so they don't go, oh, we could just do that ourselves. It's like, no, it's very difficult. It's very complicated. You're just going to want me to do it. So far, we've lined up the sun with the horizon. There's like a split right in the middle of the glass, and first you line up the horizon, and then you bring the sun right down so it's touching the horizon.
Okay, 10:29.
And then you look at the clock and see exactly what time it is GMT.
10:29. 15 hours, 10 minutes, and 29 seconds. 68, and it's on that side, so it's 68 degrees. See how it's a little below the 25? So it's 25 minutes, and it's 2 seconds. So what we're after is finding out the biggest degree that you can get, the most it is. Now we can do that, and that'll tell us our longitude with just a few adjustments. Latitude. It'll tell us that, because that day that's where the sun is, period. And I'll show you how to get that.
And every day it's in a little bit of a different spot.
We're going into summer. The sun went south, and now it's coming north. So what I'm going to do after that boil, that we know the maximum height, I'm going to set my sextant back to this reading. So in an hour from high noon, because we're just at an hour before high noon, the angle is that. So what I'm going to do is reset my sextant to that reading.
Okay.
And then I'm going to get close to where the sun is going to come down, and when it gets there, it's the split second that the sun touches the horizon without touching my sextant, I'm going to go right there, and I'm going to look at my watch.
At this moment, Thomas is trying to find the high point when the sun gets to the very highest point, and he says it'll kind of bubble a little bit, and then he wants it to start going down. So I'm learning as I go. I'm still not really fully understanding how it goes yet, but I think hopefully once we get it all the way done, it might click, and then I'll do my best to explain to you what we're doing here. Alright, we got halfway through our first celestial navigation lesson there, and I'm ready for a nap. I went through my my watch, and I was starting to just feel a little tired, so Thomas got all the way up to high noon, and then I know exactly what he's looking for once he starts shooting it on the way down, and then that's about as far as I got so far. Anyways, I'm gonna take a little nap.
Cruising along at over 8 knots right now. Maybe the wind is 15 knots, maybe. So this boat is just flying. It's a really good heading, you know. It's on a beam, but it's just like flat. The waves are not very big. We're just cruising right now. I mean, just got All the sails just got a bunch of wind in them. Look at that mainsail, just woo! Got them all the way out there. Come on. I just had some chicken and quinoa, some mixed fruit. Life is good. Our ETA was gonna be 6 a.m. to reach South Caicos, and right now it's down to like 12:30, so a little after midnight. So we've shaved off, you know, like 5.5 hours pretty quick once we just started picking up a little bit of speed. This is the first time I've ever read a book while sailing. It's been over 6 years. I've sailed my boat, sailed on other people's boats. Never really occurred to me I could just maybe read a book, especially while I was on watch. I mean, maybe if I was not on watch, but normally when I'm not on watch, I'm like, oh, I need to rest. Reading is the last thing I want to do, you know? Trying to not be sick. Thomas has a lot of faith in me, huh? Look at this. Just flying, baby. How you doing, Papa? Wow, what a beautiful sail. What a beautiful boat, right? Golly, 74 tons of just beauty. This is fun right here, guys. This is sailing. Ah. Now that's a view from the bow pulpit. Wow. I noticed a little bit like of a shaking, like, and Thomas said that's the propeller. So he left the propeller in neutral. And I brought up a point because I've heard people kind of go back and forth. No, you're supposed to lock the propeller in reverse so it doesn't turn. Other people say you're supposed to let it turn freely. Thomas's answer was the best I've heard. It was pretty simple. It just depends on the kind of transmission you have. His transmission, it lubricates the gears as it turns. But there are some transmissions that if the engine is not on, they're not being lubricated, so they're turning. Everything's turning without being lubricated. In that situation, he says you would want to put it in gear so that the propeller does not spin. In his situation, he lets it spin, everything's good, it lubricates. There you go. Yum. We are set for the food prep here. Loving the mixed fruit. I got a watch coming up in a little bit, but you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking I might take a shower after I get a little bit of food. life of luxury around here. 7 years. That's how long it's been since I've been sailing. I've made passages on my boat, other people's boats. This is the first time I've actually taken a shower while underway. It's always been a little nuts, a little crazy. Just never really had the time. It didn't seem right. I was sick or whatever it was. But here everything was calm. I had time before my shift. I was awake. Another thing is Linda, she has these on the boat. They're called Japanese towels. Game changer. I mean, I'm gonna use these on land. I'm gonna use these all the time. It's a way to what do they call it? You know, it's really rough, so you get to like really scrub, and you get the word's not coming to me right now. It's an easy word, but anyways, yeah, it's great. You can really get your back and everything in a man, what's that word, you know, where you like clean your pores. It kind of opens up your pores. It's like exfoliate. That's what it is. You could exfoliate your body, and very easy. So Japanese towels, if you haven't heard of one, man, those are the way to go. I don't care if you're on a boat or on land. Woo, feeling clean. All right, put a new pair of clothes on. This is a new kind of sailing here. Feeling fresh instead of being all salty and dirty and sweaty and just grinding it out until you make it. This is how people are living. This is how people are sailing. So Linda's read almost a full book already.
It's been an excruciating day. I laid in bed and read a book.
I was saying, oh man, we're gonna go sail. Oh, I guess we're gonna have to go take a bunch of naps for 5 days and read books. Alright, it's my first night shift. I got this light here I could read, you know, and every 15-20 minutes shut it off, scan the horizon. I'm looking for lights, you know, big boats, any kind of lightning or any systems coming. I'm just watching, making sure we're on course while I eat my chicken. I've got the 10 to 2 shift. We switched it up a little. I'm watching for us to get 5 miles offshore, Turks and Caicos, South Caicos. Then I'm gonna get Thomas up here, because then there's the Caicos Bank, so he wants to be up here as we go through, because you know there's some land that it gets shallow and stuff, so we gotta navigate through that, and he wants to be up for that. Cruising along, doing 8 knots still. Alright, that's a nice 4-hour watch done. 10 p.m., 2 a.m. We're just coming up on South Caicos. Amazing. We flew across, and we had a nice big cruise ship coming up on our stern, and we got the banks to look out for, but Thomas is taking over at the perfect time, and he's like, go to bed. So yep, I'm going to bed. Well, we had a pretty cool night. Thomas came in and said, button up your hatch, we're coming into some weather. Casually, he didn't ask for any help. Kept seeing lightning off in the front, you know, right off our bow. We went right through it. I guess it was just a lot of rain, but I don't know, I slept through it. Thomas never asked for any help, so here we are in the morning. We've already passed South Caicos. We're coming up on Mayaguana. We'll probably see Mayaguana in about 2 more hours. Doing 5 to 6 knots. How you feeling, Mark?
Alright. Back to maybe 85%.
Nice. That's huge.
And this peanut butter and jelly did the trick, I think. I haven't eaten much last yesterday, so. Funny, it's not the typical seasick that I get either. I'm not particularly nauseous. It's more like headache and dizzy, and just kind of tired. Had a lot of sleeping yesterday.
Doing this one step at a time, but basically what we did is we used the sextant to figure out
what the angle was from the sun to the horizon just before high noon. We took a few readings of that, and then we took some readings of the sun as it was going down at the exact same angles. I know, am I losing you yet? So, there's a lot of math going on here. But essentially what we've done is we figure out exactly what time in Greenwich Mean Time, exactly what time the sun was at its highest point. And we have the time, and then we know exactly what angle the sun was at when it was at the highest point based on our location. So that's as far as I've gotten, basically. So we've been able to calculate what time. My head's spinning a little bit. All right, and then I got this book here, One Day Celestial Navigation. This is my homework from Thomas. So Thomas wants me to read this book, go over it. So I'm not taking his word, but it's going to talk about a lot of what we just did with the sun. So I'm going to go over this, and then I got my nautical almanac for 2023. So this is my homework from Thomas. So we've just begun. I'm pretty sure I didn't make any sense to you there with the celestial navigation, because I'm still kind of processing it. But essentially we're shooting the sun, we're getting a few readings before it gets to the highest point, and then we want to know about when it gets to the highest point. You watch for that, and then once it does, as it starts to go down, you set your sextant at the very first angle that you have written down before the sun got to the highest point, and you wait for the sun to get at that angle on its way down, and then you write down that time, write it down, and then you do some calculations. So we're gonna keep working on this. I'm pretty sure you guys don't know what the hell I'm talking about right now, because I don't really know either. Thomas found another book. He wanted me to start first. Celestial Navigation, a step-by-step procedure for the complete idiot. I don't think he's calling me a complete idiot. Maybe he is, but I think that's just a fun title of the book, maybe. The wind shifted. We just decided we're going a different route.
These are the tales of BOAB.
BOAB, baby, we're BOAB, baby, we're BOAB, baby, we're from.
Wow, what a beautiful sail.